Hello everyone, thank you for joining me and thank you for being so patient over the last couple of weeks. I've been doing like a house clearance, so it's been quite hard to do full-time work and do that and try and do this at the same time. Today we're going to make strawberry twists, which is a Pokémon Blissey recipe. We need 480 grams of our plain flour and a half teaspoon of salt, which I've popped in there as well, 240 ml of milk, 60 grams of unsalted butter. This does need to be softened. Left that in the microwave. Where are we? 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You'll want 2 eggs and 110 grams of strawberry jam. I'm going to do a half batch, that's why this isn't sort of looking correct, especially with the eggs, just to see how we get on. It also says that you need a dough hook on a food processor or like a general mix that has an attachment for that. I don't have this, so we'll just see how we get on. But previously when I've done bread type recipes, it's been fine. Yeah, so let's get moving. So to begin, we need to add our flour, salt, milk, butter and yeast and the maple syrup into a bowl, and then on a low speed we're going to mix it supposedly with a dough hook, and then once it started to come together, turn up the speed, just to make sure it's all come together and it's not lumpy and there isn't any dry flour in there. Once we've done that, we will be adding one of the 2 eggs to the bowl, and running that until both eggs are incorporated, turning it to a high speed, and then we need to knead it for 15 minutes. So obviously none of that went to plan, but we sort of have a half decent dough. We now need to let this rest for an hour in a warm place, cover it with some cling film, and then we need to turn out the dough and get the jam in it. So I will see you in an hour. Hello everyone, we are back after an hour. So we now need to turn the dough out onto a floured surface, and then we are going to roll it out into a 30 by 60 centimeter rectangle. Spread the strawberry jam over the surface, leaving a 1 centimeter border, and then lightly damp the edges, fold it over on itself into a 30 by 30 centimeter square, and make sure all the edges are sealed, and then cut it with a pizza cutter into 12 2.5 inch strips, and then we'll be putting it into our muffin tray. It then does need to rest again before we do anything else. Lovely. Obviously I'm doing half batch again just as a reminder. Try not to make this too thick because when you fold it over it'll end up sort of spewing out the sides. So it says with your muffin tray, it wants you to cling film it and then grease the muffin holes in the tin. I've got silicone muffin cases, so I'm going to see how that goes. That obviously would stop the sticking, which I'm assuming is what the the cling film and margarine or whatever you want to grease with would be doing. So we're going to fold it and then we're going to cut it. So it wanted you to let it rest while you were greasing this, but if you're going to do it my way, you should be fine. We then need to twist the rolls that we've got and put it into our muffin cases that we've got. So I think my main issue is the dough is still very wet. I don't know if that's a recipe issue or if it's just the fact that I don't have the correct mixer and all of the rest of it. It is cold in England at the moment as well, so rising probably wasn't going to work very well either. So there are a few things against me at the moment. So yeah, we need to cling film this now. And let it sit for another hour, and then it'll go in the oven at 180 for 20 to 25 minutes. Lovely, these just come out the oven. I forgot to mention you want to put some demerara sugar on the top there before they go in. Once they've cooled, we are going to transfer them to a wire rack. And then you want to get 50 grams of icing sugar and some strawberry flavoured powder. What I'm going to do with mine is I've got the freeze-dried raspberries from another recipe that we did. I'm going to crush those down and I'll put it with the icing sugar and then just sort of pop that on top, and then you can put some whipped cream and some more of the sprinkles and stuff on top to make it look pretty. But I'm really looking forward to these. They should be good. Let me know if you do these. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I love hearing from all of you. As always, stay safe and I will see you in the next one.